Welcome to another episode of Mold Breakers Empowerment Forum. I am Dr. Audrey Melanie, CEO of Mold Breaker Empowerment and Education International Network. And the goal of Mold Breakers Empowerment Forum is to share vital information that will help our viewers to think and act on wise decisions to improve their personal health and well-being. Today, we look at sickness. Born to be sick, myth or reality? A state or feeling of unwellness, feeling unsound in body, sometimes in spirit, other times in our spiritual and social areas of life. So, what are the causes of sickness? Is it real or is it a myth? We know that our bodies are very complex systems that was created for functionality, to be able to provide for ourselves and others, to be able to just enjoy the beauty of nature, all of God's beautiful creation. So were we born to be sick? Many persons from a religious perspective would say no. From a medical perspective, others might say, well, that depends. What does it depend on? It depends on your environment. It depends on what you have inherited at birth. It also depends on the ability to provide for the essentials that maintains and promote well-being. Of course, our psychological health, our spiritual health, our other domains. But were we born to be sick? The answer is no. So why do we become sick? Well, that depends on a number of factors in our environment. Our social environment, our physical environment, our geographical location. We are predisposed, some of us, to a number of conditions that make us ill. From as simple as the air that we breathe in and the particles that's present in it, to the food that we eat and our body's response to the chemicals within the food. And I'm not talking about toxins that are put on the food in order to help them grow, but I'm talking about even in its organic state, there are some foods that make us unwell. But what is important about being sick? Some of us are preoccupied with being sick, and so we draw sicknesses to us. Yes, a thought process. We think sick, and so our bodies manifest sickness. When we think healthy, it doesn't stop us from becoming sick, but it certainly boosts our ability to overcome whatever we are exposed to that make us sick. Does that sound like sense? To some people it doesn't, but it is a reality. There is such a thing as psychosomatic illness, where we bring on ourselves and manifest symptoms of diseases even though we do not have those diseases. And so, sickness is a reality. It is a reality. But being born to be sick is not a reality. And I will refer you to the manuscript that most of us use, and it's called the Bible. It says that you were born to be endowed with good health. The scripture says that God desires above all things that we prosper and be in good health. So if that is God's desire, why are so many of us sick? Well, if we begin at birth, some of us were born with deformities, but deformities does not equate to sickness. Heart disease, some people are born with clefts and what they call openings, valves not closing, body parts being fused together, and in some instances an intervention, a surgical intervention, is required in order to correct that. But in spite of that, there are some malformations, some abnormalities that require no intervention, and we can function as normal, as individuals who are void of those abnormalities. But sickness is basically those conditions that basically debilitates us, that prevents us from functioning, that prevents us from being able to care for ourselves, to care for others, to think, to act in ways that enhances our well-being. So what do we do? How is it that we make ourselves sick? I did mention that there are things naturally in the environment that are organic, but for some reason our bodies react to it when we come into contact with it, when we consume it, when we inhale it. And so what we have to do is we have to first develop an awareness of these potentials, of these risks that we, because of our natural makeup, are likely to be affected by these elements in the environment. But then there are other areas of our life where we are predisposed to illnesses. In the Bahamas and around the world, many people are suffering from diseases such as diabetes, cancers, heart disease, asthma. The list goes on. There are immeasurable sickle cell disease. We have coronavirus that's currently wreaking havoc around the world, but there are other viruses and bacteria. And guess what? These are not foreign to our environment. They reside and coexist with us from the beginning of time. They are in our bodies, they are in our environment, and we coexist. So what is it that makes us sick? What really makes us sick is when we compromise our body's ability to ward off the illnesses from the virus, bacteria, fungus, and other organisms, including parasites. Some of them we take into our bodies, others are exposed or dispersed in the environment seasonally. And then there are chemicals that also affect our bodies. Our bodies are exposed to innumerable amounts of agents that can make us sick. Many of those agents are the byproduct of man's inventions. The motor vehicle, the aeroplane. We get fumes in the atmosphere that cause us to have respiratory illnesses. We get fumes in our environment that cause us to develop cancers of different types. And the list goes on. So what can we do to overcome? What can we do to increase our chances of leading a healthier life and having less illnesses? There are a number of things that we can do. There are some things that are out of our control. The fumes, vehicles will always be with us. There are regulations that say certain types of vehicles are to be maintained in a certain way to reduce the emission of these fumes. And so, as individuals, as citizens, as stewards of the universe, of the world, we have a responsibility on an individual level and on a community level to do our part to make sure that we are not adding to the toxins and the fumes that are causing us to become ill. And then there are those elements that are known as lifestyle habits. And if you remember a couple episodes back, I talked about the formula called the New Start. And those are things that we can do on an individual level to avoid becoming ill. Avoiding excesses. Excess of alcohol, excess of food, excess of activities that keep us too busy to be in tune with our body, to hear when our bodies are saying to us, I'm not feeling well. To hear our bodies say, I need more rest. To hear our bodies say, I need water. I don't need sweet drinks. I need fresh air. I need exercise. Yes, our bodies speak to us. But do we hear the messages? Do we get the signals? No. Why? Because we are too busy. And that is why we believe that we were born to be sick. But no, we were not born to be sick. We were born to prosper and be in good health, even as our souls prosper. So, if you are a Christian or a religious individual, but you are not caring for your body temple, what exactly are you doing? You are violating the principle number one law of the universe that God has himself expressed for us to enjoy good health. So let's work on breaking that sickness mold of believing that because my parents had high blood pressure, diabetes, or cancer, I too will walk that path. No, it is not an inheritance. It is the product of our busy life. Slow down. Slow down. Shift your paradigm from being sick to being healthy. Shatter the mold that something is gonna carry you. Of course it will, but in what state? There is something called quality of life. Don't simply exist. Don't exist in a state of busyness where your body collapses without you being aware that it needs to be nourished. Take time for yourself. Embrace the concept of healthy states of being. Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy spirit. You have heard it said that the wealth of a nation is the health of the nation. Busyness, fear, you're too busy that you won't even take the time to process the information that is coming to you. Are there truths to what you are hearing? What is it that will make me a better, healthier, and more productive being? Busyness does not produce good results. What produces good results is to be conscious, to be present, to be an active participant in your own life and the life of others. Do not function as a lower base animal who does not have the ability to think and reason. God Himself invites you to slow down and think and reason. Reasoning is fundamental to our survival, to our productivity, to our existence, to the sustainability of our human race. We must choose wisely. Choose not to be sick. You were not born to be sick. You were born to prosper and be in good health. So, get a new start. Invest in your nutrition. Invest in exercise. Invest in drinking sufficient water. It is recommended that you consume at least 10% of your body weight each day in water. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be drinking at least 20 ounces of water a day. Is that correct? Do the math. 10% of your body weight. You may find that 20 ounces is not sufficient. You need more than 20 ounces of water. And you can do that whatever your weight is. So you get your water. You must get some sunlight. Go outdoors. Get the vitamin D in your body from the sunlight. Temperance. Avoid excesses. Excess in food, excess in leisure, excess in alcohol, excess in anything that does not prove to be beneficial to your health. Even excess rest, yes, that sedentary lifestyle promotes weight gain, joint stiffness, and the list goes on. And then you have air. You need fresh air on a daily basis. Where best to get fresh air than the outdoors, near the beach, not in the traffic jam where the fumes are coming and beating in and affecting your respiratory system. Rest, sufficient rest. Many people boast of going for hours on end and having less than 5 hours rest. What is it doing to your body? It's causing stress. You weren't born to function that way. Your days should be divided into 3 equal parts. 8 hours of work, and it's the law. 8 hours. Beyond 8 hours of work, you're really stressing your body, you're wearing and tearing your mental faculties, and your body needs to be able to regenerate. So you should engage in at least 8 hours of leisure time, time with family, time with friends, time of enjoyment, doing those things. Many of us are so busy working, we neglect to spend time with family. We neglect to invest in our personal time for refreshment, for meditation, for pampering ourselves. We were not born to be sick. And then we must establish relationship with the higher being, our Creator God. He himself knew that we need to be timed, we need to spend time with him, meditating on the greater things that make us feel whole, that gives us the power to help others and to help ourselves. As Christians, we have the ideal examples in Christ. Watch what he did. He took solitary time to be with his Father, our Father. He is our brother. He is our example of how we ought to live. Relate to others positively, even when they are not relating to us positively. All of these things are what cause us to be sick. We were not born to be sick. So break that sick mold, shatter it, and sweep the residue out from your environment. Embrace health and well-being. Oftentimes, we know what to do, but we don't know how to do it. And so, as I wrap up this session today, I strongly recommend that you invest in health, invest in a guide, someone who can help you identify those areas of your life where you are getting stuck, where you are stuck mentally, physically, socially, spiritually, financially, biologically. A health and life coach can provide you with personalized guidance that will help you. If your desire is to control your blood sugar because you have diabetes, to control your blood pressure, to lose weight, to build confidence, whatever your basic health or life needs are, a health coach can provide you with guidance, with personalized, effective guidance for your personal benefit? Do you want to flourish? Do you want to be the best that you can be? Then make contact with me. Mold Breakers Empowerment and Education Network exists to provide assistance for you, for your friends, for anyone, even your children, because if you notice, children are now being affected by diseases that were once only adult diseases. Yes, obesity, heart disease, diabetes, asthma, they are all connected to our lifestyle, what we're doing, how we're doing it, what we're not doing, how we should be doing it. We know and we hear, eat healthy, but is that the answer? Exercise, is that the answer? Collectively, there are a number of things that we should be doing to enhance our state of well-being. So, Mold Breakers Empowerment Network at gmail.com, or you can call me 242-810-7762. You can set up an appointment, you can do a pre-interview, we can see what areas of your life you need help in, and I assure you that there is a personalized program that will help you to overcome any challenge that you are having in your life, that you can be the best version of yourself. I thank you for joining me in this segment today, and I invite you to tune in again next week when I will present another topic that will help you to lead the best life possible, help you to shatter those molds that are keeping you bound to sickness. Enjoy your day and be blessed. I am your boomer doc, Aud-Mel, aka Audrey Melanie, saying stay healthy and safe.